Have you ever thought that your passport could limit your adventures? While Americans enjoy one of the most powerful passports in the world, some destinations remain completely out of reach. Whether due to political rifts, safety risks, or outright bans, these countries are strictly off-limits. Stay tuned as we reveal the 10 places Americans can't visit in 2024 and 2025, and the surprising reasons behind these restrictions. Traveling is more than a hobby. It's a way to connect with cultures, histories, and breathtaking landscapes. Yet, some nations have drawn a hard line when it comes to U.S. travelers. Political tensions, security threats, and deeply ingrained disputes have created barriers that even the most adventurous explorers can't cross. In this video, we'll guide you through 10 countries Americans are banned or strongly advised against visiting. You'll learn the stories behind these restrictions and the challenges that make travel to these places virtually impossible. Watch until the end. You might just uncover a destination that changes the way you see the world. Country 1. North Korea. North Korea, often called the Hermit Kingdom, is shrouded in mystery, with its tightly controlled borders and secretive regime. For Americans, traveling to this isolated nation has been forbidden since 2017. The travel ban, issued by the U.S. government, followed a series of high-profile detentions of U.S. citizens under harsh conditions. Imagine stepping into Pyongyang with its eerily empty streets, grandiose propaganda, and meticulously choreographed displays of loyalty to the regime. It's a place that feels like stepping into another world, but it comes with a steep cost for Americans. Violating North Korea's strict laws, often unknowingly, can lead to imprisonment, forced labor, or worse. Even humanitarian workers and journalists face significant risks, as North Korea's unpredictable leadership uses foreign detainees as political bargaining chips. Despite the intrigue surrounding its secretive culture, North Korea's travel ban for Americans shows no signs of being lifted in 2024 or 2025. Country 2. Iran. Iran is a treasure trove of history, with ancient cities like Persepolis, breathtaking mosques, and vibrant bazaars. But for Americans, the journey to this Persian paradise comes with immense risks. The U.S. Department of State has long warned its citizens against traveling to Iran due to the high possibility of detention and lack of diplomatic assistance. Tensions between the U.S. and Iran have reached new heights in recent years, with accusations of espionage, cyber attacks, and political interference souring relations. Americans who do enter Iran are often viewed with suspicion, with several cases of travelers being detained under vague charges of spying or threatening national security. While the allure of Persian culture and cuisine might tempt some, the risks of imprisonment or being used as leverage in political disputes are too significant to ignore. With no direct diplomatic ties, Americans in Iran face extreme vulnerability, a reason why the U.S. strongly advises against travel to this fascinating yet fraught destination. Country 3. Russia. Spanning 2 continents and 11 time zones, Russia is a land of contrasts, from the icy landscapes of Siberia to the architectural marvels of Moscow. But for Americans, this vast nation has become increasingly unwelcoming. As tensions between the U.S. and Russia escalate over issues like cyber warfare, election interference, and military conflicts, traveling to Russia as an American is fraught with risks. For U.S. travelers, surveillance is a significant concern. Russia's security agencies closely monitor foreigners, and any perceived misstep can lead to detention. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has further strained relations, with the U.S. Embassy in Moscow reducing its consular services to a bare minimum. This makes it nearly impossible for Americans to receive help if they encounter legal or medical emergencies. While Russia's cultural and natural wonders are undeniably captivating, the risk of becoming entangled in geopolitical tensions makes it a dangerous choice for American visitors in 2024 and 2025. Country 4. Syria. Once a hub of ancient civilizations and home to some of the world's most iconic archaeological sites, Syria has been reduced to rubble by over a decade of civil war. The country's once thriving tourism industry has completely collapsed, and for Americans, entering Syria is not only discouraged, but virtually impossible. The U.S. government has issued its highest-level travel advisory for Syria, warning of active conflicts, terrorism, and the risk of kidnapping. Foreigners, particularly Westerners, are often targeted by extremist groups or criminal networks seeking ransom. The destruction of critical infrastructure has made even basic safety and medical services unavailable. Despite the enduring beauty of Syria's ancient ruins and rich culture, the ongoing conflict and lack of diplomatic presence make it one of the most perilous places for Americans to visit. Country 5. Afghanistan. Afghanistan is a land of rugged mountains, ancient traditions, and historical significance. But since the Taliban regained control in 2021, the country has entered a new chapter of instability that makes it highly unsafe for Americans. The absence of a U.S. embassy in Afghanistan leaves American travelers with no safety net in emergencies. The Taliban's strict enforcement of Islamic law, coupled with the risk of terrorist attacks, kidnappings, and armed conflicts, makes travel to Afghanistan extremely dangerous. Even journalists and aid workers face life-threatening risks. While Afghanistan's majestic landscapes and ancient cities might appeal to adventurers, the volatile political climate and severe security risks mean it's a destination best admired from a distance. Country 6. Yemen. Yemen, with its ancient history and unique landscapes, is a country caught in the grips of a devastating civil war. The conflict has not only created a massive humanitarian crisis, but also made Yemen one of the most dangerous places in the world for travelers. For Americans, the risks include terrorism, armed conflict, and kidnapping. Extremist groups operate freely in many parts of the country, and foreigners are often targeted. The U.S. government has no active diplomatic presence in Yemen, leaving American travelers with no support if they face trouble. Even iconic destinations like Socotra Island, known for its alien-like landscapes, are inaccessible due to the ongoing instability. Yemen remains a no-go zone for Americans in 2024 and beyond. Country 7. Somalia. Somalia, known for its strategic coastline and turbulent history, is one of the most challenging destinations for American travelers. Decades of conflict, piracy, and terrorism have left the country in a state of perpetual instability. For Americans, the risks in Somalia are severe. Kidnappings for ransom are common, and extremist groups like Al-Shabaab frequently target Westerners. The lack of a functioning government and basic infrastructure makes navigating Somalia not only dangerous but nearly impossible. Despite its cultural richness and natural beauty, Somalia remains a high-risk destination that is firmly off-limits to most travelers, particularly Americans. Country 8. Venezuela. Venezuela, once a vibrant and prosperous country known for its stunning landscapes and lively culture, has become one of the most unstable places in the world. For Americans, traveling to Venezuela is not just discouraged, it's considered outright dangerous due to political tensions and widespread civil unrest. In recent years, Venezuela has been plagued by hyperinflation, shortages of basic necessities, and high crime rates. The U.S. State Department has issued a do not travel advisory, citing risks such as kidnappings, violent crimes, and a complete breakdown of the healthcare system. Even in major cities like Caracas, foreigners, especially Americans, are prime targets for criminal groups. The strained relationship between the U.S. and Venezuela's government further complicates matters. Diplomatic relations have deteriorated to the point where Americans have limited or no access to consular assistance. Despite the country's breathtaking natural wonders, including Angel Falls and the Grand Sabana, Venezuela's instability makes it one of the riskiest destinations for U.S. travelers in 2024 and 2025. Country 9. Libya. Libya, a country rich in history and archaeological treasures, has unfortunately been a hotspot of instability since the fall of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. What was once a promising destination has devolved into a lawless zone marked by ongoing civil war, armed militias, and terrorism. For Americans, Libya poses multiple threats, including kidnappings, terrorist attacks, and armed conflict. The lack of a unified government means there's no authority to ensure the safety of travelers. the U.S. Embassy in Tripoli remains closed, leaving Americans without diplomatic support if they encounter problems. Even Libya's iconic sites, such as the ancient ruins of Leptis Magna and the Sahara Desert, are out of reach due to the persistent violence and lack of infrastructure. While Libya holds immense historical significance, it's a destination that remains firmly off-limits for Americans. Country 10. Iraq. Iraq, often referred to as the cradle of civilization, is home to some of the world's most important archaeological and historical sites. From the ancient city of Babylon to the ruins of Ur, Iraq's cultural significance cannot be overstated. However, for Americans, visiting Iraq is fraught with danger. The ongoing threat of terrorism, sectarian violence, and political instability makes Iraq an extremely high-risk destination. Groups like ISIS, though weakened, still pose a significant threat, and Americans are often targeted in attacks or kidnappings. Additionally, the U.S. military presence in Iraq has fueled anti-American sentiment, increasing the risk for travelers. Even regions that were once considered safer, like Iraqi Kurdistan, have seen a rise in tensions. The U.S. State Department strongly advises against all travel to Iraq, making it clear that the risks outweigh any potential rewards. While the allure of Iraq's historical landmarks is undeniable, safety concerns make it an impossible destination for American travelers. These 10 countries serve as a stark reminder that not every corner of the world is accessible to everyone. While they each offer unique histories, cultures, and landscapes, the risks associated with visiting them are simply too great for American travelers. From political disputes to safety concerns, the reasons behind these restrictions vary, but they all highlight the importance of staying informed and prioritizing personal safety when planning your travels. Want to explore the world while avoiding risks? Make sure to subscribe to Exploring Our Planet for more travel insights, tips, and fascinating destinations. Which of these countries surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned for more exciting travel content.